Hey everyone, welcome to another video where today we're going to talk about campervan insurance and we're going to expose some of the scams that some campervan insurance companies try to pull on you. So first of all, let's just have a quick talk about campervan insurance. Campervan insurance is very different to insuring a lot of other vehicles. Now a lot of campervan insurance companies, what they'll do is when you ring up, you give your number plate, you tell them it's a campervan, what they'll do is they'll insure it as a campervan, that's it, you get a really good price and you're really happy with it. But last year, when we was insuring our campervan, one of the important things for us was that we had to get our vehicle valued for the value that it's worth as a campervan, not as a commercial vehicle. Now after a lot of research and speaking to a lot of different companies, we found an insurance company that basically covered our van and covered it for the value of the vehicle with the campervan conversion. During this time of getting our campervan insured, I learned a lot of things, and a lot of the things, you know, that this insurance company told me about, sort of like, you know, like different like modifications that you have and things, you know, you do have to obviously tell that to an insurance company and that. And I was telling this insurance company that some of the insurance companies that I'd spoke to, they basically turned around and just said, yeah, it's a campervan, we'll insure it. But how can they insure what they don't know what's in the vehicle, like with all the modifications and everything? Anyway, we went through all of that and we managed, like I said, to get our campervan insured, and it was insured with the right company at that time. Now before we go into what's happened with our insurance company, let me just tell you a couple of things. If your campervan insurance company is not asking you for things like gas certificates, if you have gas in there, they're not asking you if you have a tracker fitted, and they're not getting you to like give like the value of your vehicle for them, this is something that you really need to think about, because a reputable insurance company will want all of these to have on file so that they know that like when you've had the conversion done that you've got like gas safety certificates and things. So there is a rise of campervan insurance scams. Now what I mean by that is there's a lot of companies out there, like I said, and a lot of these are like new companies and things, and what they're doing is they're insuring campervans as campervans, but when it comes to like if you have to use the services and things, they're not actually like covering you. One of the main reasons why that you might not be covered if you need to use the services is because whatever you've got in your campervan, it wasn't disclosed at the time that you got your campervan insurance, and if there was a problem with that caused you to make a claim, they're going to do everything they can to make sure that they don't give you that claim. So let's just quickly tell you about our insurance company. Now last year we got insured in our campervan and we was really happy with like everything, you know, because it took like quite a long time to get all the documents over and everything. They got everything like in all the different modifications we had. This insurance company got taken over by another company. Now the thing is, when it got taken over with another company, we got told this, but the thing is, when it come to renew our campervan insurance, they basically turned around and said that we can't insure you anymore. But obviously I asked the question why, and they basically turned around and said because some of the modifications that we've had done on the van that were already done at the time that we had our campervan insurance in place the year before, they basically turned around and said that the insurance company now, because of the modifications that we have, they will not insure the van. So then, at the end of the conversation, they did turn around and say to me, but we are trying our hardest to find another insurance company that will get your campervan insured. During this time, I thought, well, just in case I can't get insured with this company anymore, what I'm going to do is I'm going to like ring some other like companies and things. Now, from last year to this year, so many more insurance companies had come up, because like when we put in campervan specialist, a lot of these insurance companies, they weren't there last year when we was doing our research. And what we found was a lot of these companies, like when I put all the details in, they was like, yeah, we'll insure that, no problem, with no questions whatsoever about any of the modifications or any of the value of like the conversion or anything that we'd had done. Now I rang some of these companies and they just simply turned around and said, oh no, we don't need to know like obviously what you've had done to the vehicle and stuff. But it just got me thinking, why do some companies want every specific detail of what you've had done, and some are just like, oh no, we'll just insure it. That got me thinking. So I found a company, not going to name names in any of this, and this company basically gave me an unbelievable quote that we was like really happy with. I rang them up, gave all the details and everything of like, you know, all the different modifications we had done and everything, and they was like, yeah, you know, that's fine, you know, we've got all the modifications down. And I was like, wow, this is fantastic. But then I asked a simple question: is the vehicle insured as a commercial vehicle or as a campervan that's being converted? And they said, campervan that's being converted. I went, okay, that's good. So are you going to value the vehicle as a commercial vehicle, or are you going to value the vehicle as a campervan that's been converted? At this point, I could hear it in their voice. They didn't really know what I was saying. So they said to me, just give me a minute, I'm going to go and speak to somebody. They went and spoke to somebody and they came back. Do you know what they said to me? The vehicle is only insured to the value of a commercial vehicle. That basically means Your campervan is insured on paper as a campervan insurance, but if you was to use their services for anything, you would only get the value as the commercial vehicle worth. Now on that note, I'm proud to tell you that today's video is sponsored by eufy solar security cameras. So as you all know, security plays a big part in sort of like protecting things like your house and obviously your campervan and things. Now, if you're looking for a CCTV camera but you have no Wi-Fi or you have no power, no problem. Security cameras have just brought out a security camera that is powered by solar. Now the main thing is about this is, once you get it set up, it can just run forever. And the good thing is, there is no monthly fee. These cameras are self-sustaining with forever power. All you need to do, you take it out of the box, you charge it up, plug your solar panel on when you fit it, screw it to the wall or wherever you're going to put it, and it just runs forever. Now we've had our camera for almost a month now, and the good thing is we can actually go into the app and it actually tells you the solar. And on these cameras, what happens is when the battery drops down to 93%, charges it back up to about 96%, and it always keeps a float in between so it doesn't overcharge it. What if you don't have Wi-Fi? The good thing with these cameras is they have dual connectivity. You can actually connect them to Wi-Fi or you can attach them to 4G. You do get a 4G SIM card with these cameras, and the good thing is you can just like plug it in and you can actually buy service plans, and the service plans, do you know what, they're really good value. These cameras, what they do is they detect motion, and the thing is when it detects the motion, you can have a choice. You can record for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, or you can do a custom one where you can have it recording up to 60 seconds. That way, when you get a notification, you'll be able to look straight away on your camera and it will actually show you what's caused the motion detection. And you can have it where it's set to, like, you know, detect humans or just detect motion or vehicles. You might be thinking, what happens after the 60 seconds? Does the camera just turn off? No, if it detects motion again, it will just carry on recording. So if somebody's moving about in the area, it will just constantly record them. All you have to do when you get a notification on your phone, you just go into the app. 4K resolution with, like, during the day in colour. Nighttime it has Ultra HD. You can even set the camera so if there's any motion or anything, it will actually turn the spotlight on. And the good thing is as well, it's actually got two-way audio. You can actually listen if somebody's like snooping about and things like near your property, and you can actually speak as well so that they can hear what you're saying. It's so easy to set up. It can be set up in a couple of minutes. Now where we've got ours set up, not going to give the exact location, but we are so happy with it because again, it just gives us peace of mind that we have a security camera that's just forever power and we don't need to do anything with it. eufy's 4G cameras has a technology called Solar Plus. Even with partial obstruction, maintains 60% charging capacity, demonstrating its effectiveness in generating solar power even with 50% obstruction. The good thing is with these cameras as well, you can go on the app at any time and you can click the button and you can get a live viewing of what's going on at that moment in time that you press it on the app. With auto tracking and 4 preset positions that you can actually put the camera on, your home security is in good hands. Rest assured, with real-time notifications, experience true peace of mind with local security and no monthly fee. Put a link in the description, go and check it out. It's like unbelievable that they are saying this to me, because you're insuring it as a campervan but you tell me that like it's not going to be like valued as a campervan. So needless to say, there was no way that I was going to go with that insurance company. But then something really bizarre happened. The insurance company that I was insured with before that said we couldn't insure you anymore, they got in contact with me and they said we found a company that can insure you. So I was like, this is fantastic. They went through everything, told me, and then they basically turned around and said, are you putting your deposit on to get this insurance? And then they gave me the price. Now the price was £1,000 more than the company that I'd spoke to beforehand. That it was £1,000 more than what they'd quoted me. So, but I was thinking, yeah, but they're going to insure it not as a value as a commercial vehicle, but a campervan conversion. And then I asked that question, and then they turned around and said, no, it's only insured to the value of a commercial vehicle, not the amount of money you put into it. And I was like, well, I've just spoke to another insurance company and they basically turned around and told me the same thing. But here's the thing, when they told me the insurance company that had given me this quote, it turns out it was the same insurance company that I'd spoke to just beforehand. But wait a minute, my insurance company that I was already with just added £1,000 to it. So I actually said to my insurance company, can I just ask you this question? They was like, yeah. Why is it that I've just had a quote from the insurance company that you're giving me the insurance company like quote from, but yours is like exactly like £1,000 more? I said, where's this £1,000 come from? I said, I could just go to this other company, which I wouldn't have done because, like I said, they was only insuring it as a commercial vehicle value, and they was just like, So basically, my insurance company that I was with found me a quote, but then just decided, oh, let's add £1,000 to it. I was like, yeah, I think I'm done with this insurance company. The thing is, even though like the year before my insurance company, you know, I got the quote in exactly and everything as I wanted it, 1 year later, things had changed. Like, this insurance company that I was with, yes, they had been taken over by another company, and yes, there was a broker. But the thing is, after like what I did next, made me realise that like some brokers out there, they're out to scam you. So after doing a lot of research, I actually managed to find an insurance company. Now it gets better this, you're gonna laugh at this one. So I went direct to a certain big insurance company that specialises in campervan insurance, and basically they insured me. I spoke to them and I told them every concern that I had, I told them every single modification we had, and they turned around and said, your vehicle is valued to the value of a campervan conversion with what the vehicle is worth with everything that we've had done to it. So I was like, that's fantastic. Now, here's the thing. A few weeks after that, my now old insurance company, they rang me back and they was like asking the question, you know, have I managed to get like any insurance like quotes or anything and stuff, you know, because they've still been looking and everything. And I turned around and said, no, it's fine. So I asked the question, who was this insurance company that I was with before that told me that they couldn't insure me anymore? Now I already knew the answer to this because I looked on the paperwork. You're not going to believe this. The company that this broker told me that the insurance said that they can no longer insure me with was the same company that I have just renewed my insurance with, doing it myself, going straight to them and not go through a broker. And before you say anything, yes, there's a lot of reputable, brilliant, amazing brokers out there that will find you exactly what it is that you need. But do you know what? Sometimes it's a good idea just go straight to the insurance company that's actually going to be insuring you. Obviously, you might save some money. Now what I will say is, any insurance company that you go with, do your research. There's going to be reviews out there. Have a look through the reviews and things, you know, look into the company. Don't just pick the phone up, get an insurance quote for your campervan, and then when they say it's this price and you're like, that's such a cheap, amazing price, and you're like, wow, so amazing, and then you just go and get it because you need to look a little bit further into it. Do your research, because at the end of the day, if you're spending money on your campervan is going to be worth more money than it was if it was insured as a commercial vehicle. And a lot of insurance companies do recognise that if you're having a campervan conversion, they will insure it as a campervan, even if it's not registered as a campervan with the DVLA. At the end of the day, it's going to be what suits you the best to decide which way that you go, whether you go with a broker or whether you go with the company directly.